Bang. Hey, folks, I know you want more than macro, and that's what we try to bring you on all of our programs, especially 3 at 3. 3 at 3, we have distilled down for you, as we do for our clients, the unusual activity that has hit on that given day. So when we talk about unusual option activity, we're talking about large blocks of calls, which we deem as bullish, or large blocks of puts, which we would deem, of course, as bearish. Now, some would ask us occasionally, why don't you care about the ones that are sold? Why do you just care about the ones that are bought? If you sell an option, folks, for, say, $1, that's all you can make is $1. If you, on the other hand, buy an option for $1, that option could go to 4, it could go to 10, it could go to 0. We all understand there are risks involved with purchasing or selling options because they are a wasting asset. But when somebody buys a lot of calls, they're making a leveraged bet to the upside. We follow those people because time has shown that these people that buy large blocks of calls or puts are right about 78 to 80% of the time. And I'll take those odds all day, especially versus the odds downstairs on the casino floor. And that's not me being bitter. That's just a fact. And I think if you talk to an awful lot of traders who actually trade, not just talk about it, but actually trade, they are perhaps entertained by gambling downstairs, but it's not a vocation. I can move the odds so much further into my favor, and so can you if you understand options. And we'll give you an opportunity to check out some of our educational and subscription offerings in just a minute. But let's get started with today's 3 at 3. There I was yesterday on stage with the Wolf of All Streets. And no, I didn't misstate it. He is not the Wolf of Wall Street. He is not Jason Belfort. He is instead Scott Melker. Great guy. We've been friends for a while, several years, I believe, that I've done podcasts with him and so forth. And it was my pleasure to sit with Scott yesterday in the Wolf's Den because he had a master class on trading and interpreting data and so forth here at the Win for the Web3 conference that I'm out here for. So Scott did a great job. I will retweet that as soon as it goes out, and just a fun time and a lot of interesting folks in the audience too. Mr. McGlone, who is one of the technicians that I love to follow over at Bloomberg. I think the best out there is our AJ Monty, but McGlone is definitely somebody I pay attention to. Same with Mark Yusko. Mark is, of course, I believe the president of Morgan Creek, a huge crypto firm. But anyway, enough about that. That was Scott and I having a nice discussion on stage. And we actually did get to talk a little macro because that's what he wanted to talk about. But as you know, I love to talk about stocks and trading a lot more than I like to talk about macro. Here's another friend that I've not met, but he's a friend apparently. Stockmaster 2000 or Stockmaster J. And he was asking today, where are the Najarian brothers on CNBC? And as you have asked as well, I am still on CNBC. I still do shows on there. I am negotiating with them about things that I can't discuss right now, but you'll be hearing about things soon from us, folks. I have no animosity for CNBC. I like just about everybody at the network. I've had great relationships for decades there. So, don't try to poison the well by trying to get a fight started. I like the people. And if we continue to be on Halftime Report, my brother Pete and I, great. If it's instead an opportunity to go off and do the Rebel's Edge or anything else on other parts of the broadcast, also great. We will see. But I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate support from this funny guy, Stockmaster 2000, because you have to click on that video, folks, to hear him go through a rant. It is funny. And Stockmaster, I appreciate it. Thank you. I told you I'd tell you a little bit about some of the offerings that we have because we have distance learning where you can use your iPad, your iPhone, your computer to basically view hours and hours of content that can actually explain options to you in a very easy to understand way. So in other words, this isn't just somebody blathering about the Greeks, gamma, theta, vega, and all that sort of stuff, delta. But we are actually putting some context around why an option time decay is so much greater as it goes into expiration, what you need to know about how to harness that in your favor rather than letting it be something that destroys you and your portfolio. And just generally being able to trade directionally, bullish or bearish, being able to trade in a sideways market where you're not sure of market direction, but you can put on condors and butterflies and things like that. We can show you how to do it all. And we also have coaches and mentors that can help you understand all of that. So go to marketrebellion.com/get started to learn more about exactly what I just described. We also have our subscriptions available there on that same area of our website, marketrebellion.com/get started. All right. We also do the Rebel's Edge. My brother Pete and I do that every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. So we'll be back tomorrow. And instead of this lovely place where I am right now, let me give you a quick little look. That is Las Vegas, of course. I'm looking out the window of the Wynn Casino here when I'm showing you that. And I will be in New Orleans tomorrow because, well, why not? I mean, I don't know if I'm crazy or what, but I do love to travel, and I do get a lot of opportunities to travel and meet people like you on the road. I adore that. It's fantastic. You can tell me what makes more sense to you and so forth. When I see you in person, it's a lot better than a Twitter interaction, but I'll take Twitter interactions and so forth. Anyway, I'll be coming from Las Vegas to New Orleans tomorrow. So I will be broadcasting the Rebel Edge 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow from the Big Easy. Bang, with my brother Pete. All right, here's what we're going to get started with right now today, and that is HOLI, HOLI. They are buying the November 15 puts. They're buying them in big numbers. So far today, they bought 4,000, which is 400,000 share equivalent. You guys know that every option is for 100 shares. So that's why I just dropped 2 zeros on the 4,000 there. It's a 400,000 share block, if you will, that somebody could control from 15 on down to 0. So they purchased these puts on the offer. That's why I care. That's why I followed it in. It's just out of the money because HOLI, HOLI, was trading $15.40 some odd cents at that time. Second trade, take a look at SABR. These guys run basically almost everything that it goes into you and I booking flights on airlines and hotels and things like that. SABR Holdings, SABR. It's a $5 stock. Somebody's betting that the surge of travel that we have all seen and recognized will perhaps continue. The people will continue to look for travel deals and so forth. And SABR, like I say, is the software that runs behind the scenes, helping all of that happen. So somebody went in and bought November 6 calls with the stock at $5.13. So they're betting stock goes up over the short period because just November options, here we are, October 12th. So basically, these are about a month and a week away from expiration. So the time decay does start to pick up rather dramatically, folks. So be aware of that. Talked about it at the top of the show. You need to understand how to make time decay or theta work for you rather than against you. And I can show you how. Our coaches can show you how. All those videos I talked about can show you how. Go to marketrebellion.com/get started. All right. Third and final bang of our unusual activity today is Vodafone, VOD. Stock's $11.14. They bought the April 12 calls. So I'm not just bringing you a bunch of puts today. I'm giving you some upside that a couple people have decided makes sense to them. 12,000 calls. That's 1.2 million share equivalent. Again, just dropping those 2 zeros on the end after 12,000 gives you 1.2 million shares of an $11 stock. So, when you're talking about a 12 or $14 million potential trade in something like this, it didn't cost them 12 million to put it on. It cost them a lot less. But they can then own the equivalent of shares at $12, turn these calls into stock. They have all the way out till April, third Friday in April to exercise. But in most cases, folks, as you know, we trade out of these things well before expiration. But this one, nonetheless, November, December, January, February, March, April, you get the idea. 6 months out into the future, a lot of time to be right. They're right there. Stock's $11.14, and they bought the 12 calls in April. Well, that's going to do it for us today, folks. I appreciate you joining us. Remember, you can go to marketrebellion.com for all of our offerings, everything from conferences. We've got one coming up in Miami in the next, I think, December 8th or thereabouts. And we have all kinds of education, coaches, which are like group lessons, mentors, which are one-on-one lessons, private lesson, if you will. And I think you can become a better trader. I've seen evidence from our fantastic clients of how well this can go if you dedicate yourself to it. And it's not something that takes years and years to learn. Usually, if just through trial and error, you could do it on your own, and potentially you might lose a bunch of money on the way. And hopefully at least you learn from those losses, but we can help you do it without the losses by just doing the educational portion so that when you do finally commit real capital, you understand what you're doing. All right, folks, it's going to do it for me. Got to go back down to Web3 and enjoy some of the great conversations and meetings that I've got scheduled this afternoon. I hope you have a great one. Bang. I'll see you from Vegas tomorrow.